biggest plug of 2017 unpaid.
They do my job for me, essentially. You know who the player who is in the top 5 above 2 of the Infused members?
Go on.
Guess.
Brandon.
Nope. He's on Infused.
SLG.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
What team?
Invictus.
Snipe drone?
Yeah.
Hey.
There you go. Wow. 4th time lucky. Good job.
It took its time. Anyway, you can hear in the background, the guitar is rocking, so let's get this match a-rolling. Kicking things off with Riot's POV. This is Team Infused taking on Vexed. Truth, CTF will be game number 1. Just as you saw back in that first series, we play the same best of 7 for all 3 matches. Number 1 seed in Europe right now. Number 1 team in Europe without a doubt. Snaky falling to Mo's down in the kill feed. Couple of easy and early on kills. Riot's trying to stay alive in his own base. Kind of what we said before about Zer, that it's okay being back here and doing damage and doing a fair bit of work, but, you know, you're not really doing much being stuck in here, are you?
What's very interesting about this series layout, between these 2 teams especially, they actually have the exact same league record on the first 5 game types. This particular one is 1-1 for both teams. I actually want to jump over to Lunny here on the Vexed side, because he's a player that we don't really see too much from his point of view of, right? I mean, him and Riot's are kind of almost, I don't want to say the backup dancers on this team, but they're definitely supplementing the 2 main slayers, if you will, in Morga and Mose. Fair enough, Morga last week not having the best of debuts on this team, but Lenny's a player we don't speak about too much. He's actually 4th league-wide in assists per game, so he's always putting damage down, and he's one of those players who will always help you out in a sticky situation.
Kimbo backing off. Lunny will be forced back into the base. A little bit of a passive game, I want to say, so far. It's been quite slow. Kimbo creeps out just a little bit too much and surprisingly does get away with his life, so he's going to be staying alive here. Hanging around P2. Unfortunately, Lunny is going to get a bit of a surprise. He wanders up there. Respectful and Snaky both getting the kill in the kill feed. So now they know they're going to be on the respawn. Now it's time to push and really make their way into the base. Here comes the pressure then, Harry. 1, 2, 3 members of Infused. Kimbo pushing back, making sure he's got eyes on the prize, which is Mo's right now. Mose challenges him, so he's going to be no shield. Respectful gets the call out. Both players will be looking to take him down, clear him out the base, and potentially bring this flag home.
Yeah, not too sure why both these players are searching for this 1 overextender. I'd almost like to see one of them go forward and help the flag out, because look where the flag is. They haven't moved that flag across the map at all. So that 1 overextend there from Mose, we saw in weeks previous, 1 overextend has cost his team flag captures almost. And that 1 particular overextend, very smart, because it pulled 2 Infused members back. And it's going to be Riot's trying to grab the camouflage. He'll go down, but it's going to be Quad to grab that 1 as I can finally find his POV. I don't know why. I think his controller must be broken or something. I mean, I don't usually miss overkills on stream or anything, but Quad there finally picks up the camouflage and he goes down. But that 1 overextend from Mose definitely earns himself a lot of praise from me, because it basically saved a flag capture for his team.
Flag will be on the move then. Snaky here, staying alive. Going to jump up and check his base. He knows he's got 1 player though, but he needs to make sure that he gets the first shot. Doesn't matter if he does have some support. Kimbo comes in, helps with the cleanup. Well, I see Morga over in the bubble, but ground pound town. Respectful with the stealth capture as well, meaning he got all the way across the map without taking a single bullet. Will put that 1 in the back of the net. That's going to be 1-0 Team Infused.
Yeah, potential counter-cap opportunity there if Riot's maybe run it more aggressively towards some of the members, but towards where his help was. They did get the slays, and that was very important they did so, because that really opened up the opportunity for the counter-capture, but running it Carbine while his teammates were kind of half-blocking basement, half-blocking flag is always going to spawn the enemy in bubble right there. So maybe a bit of a breakdown in communication in terms of what spawns were open there for the boys on the Infused side, but look at this now. It's actually 3 down for Infused, and Vex, they're giving this a really good go so far in this game. With the camo coming up in around 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, we'll see if that changes the tide of this game. Right now it's Vex with the majority of momentum, and they have a lot of map control here as well.
Morga will finish off. Respectful as he does at least clean out Mose. Morga's still looking for this second player. That's going to be Quad. However, they're spawning over in the bubble, so he needs to be aware. He is pushing himself inside to the base. As soon as he does that, though, my word, 2 players come out, completely annihilate him. Down he goes. Respectful will opt to look onwards to P2, trying to take control of this. The grenades come in thick and fast, so he knows he does have, potentially, as he works his way out of here, an ongoing rate of bullets.
So you see the way Infused kind of pushed back into their own base there when they spawn at Carbine rather than overextending. That's because the camouflage is coming up right now. You see Riot sitting on that. It's going to be a perfect from Respectful to burn that one. A double, actually, 2 in a row here for Respectful. But the reason they didn't overextend at Carbine right there, very tempting to do so when you get those bubble spawns. They push back into their own base, and the reason for that was to try and get some pink tower control to grab that power-up. They didn't get the power-up, but they're going to know the timing as they saw Riot's burn that one. So we'll see when the next camouflage comes up if Infused can grab that one and make more of a play. I really like the small, intricate decisions they're making, though. It's much more prioritizing coming from them in terms of other teams in the league.
Pretty much. 4 went down there, and all of a sudden the flag is on the move, and just as quickly as that, it goes all the way across the map, and another stealth capture coming out of Team Infused, and that is 2-0. Quad checking his corners, making sure nobody's inside this base. Won't drop down as Morgan does come working his way out of P2. Now he's got to be careful of Riot's, though. Riot's putting down some quality pre-grenades. Knew exactly where we're going to go. Lands on a landmine, unfortunately. He will fall. Lunny's also in the base, so plenty of blue members. Ground pound comes out of Kimbo, but unfortunately he will drop before he hits the floor. And here we go then. The flag's on the move, but unfortunately they do have the advantageous spawn Harry over in the bubble, so they can apply the pressure and really drive home Vex and make sure they don't get any more time on that flag.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I mean, the Slays just came a little bit too far apart there from Vexed, honestly. They got the Slays, but it just wasn't quick enough, and you could see Mo's had the idea of trying to switch up, although the flag was towards that Carbine side. Like you said, they got that favorable Carbine bubble spawn, and Mo's wanted to try and redirect the route, but check it out, though. I mean, as soon as Infused get those kills, they are moving this flag as soon as possible. Snake is even going to give up this Slay right here to continue moving this flag. This is why Infused are one of the best teams in the league. They get the Slays. Ooh. Although they do have an overextended to deal with right here, they have a player on bubble, and it should be a really easy cleanup and then a return to end the game right here for Team Infused.
And there you have it. Return comes in, 3-0 Infused, showing why they right now are the powerhouse of European Halo. Your #1 seed in the European HCS 2017 Summer Season Pro League. Textbook. What else can you say? Textbook player.
No, I just realized. They won Capture the Flag.
Get out.
Look. Look. Wrong camera. Other camera production. There you go. Capture the flag. Capture the flag. They won Capture the Flag on Truth. We'll take a look at the stats, though. Nothing really magical across the board, honestly. 14 and 6 from Kimbo. 11 assists as well, most on his team. His KDA is going to be off the charts. I actually want to check out Riot's damage dealt. Yeah, it's quite low, so bit of a poor performance from the big man there on Vex. They find themselves down 1-0 in the series against the best team in the league. But check out the damage from Kimbo, though. Most in the game. It's KDA, most in the game. Really like his emblem as well. I like his emblem.
Don't do it. Well, don't sell out.
I'm not selling out. I'm just saying, it's the same emblem as mine. That's all I'm saying.
Please don't sell out.
If I was to back out into this lobby, right? Oh, look, we have the same emblem.
Wow.
It's cool.
You really just threw production under the bus by doing that.
Why?
Backing out into the lobby. No,
I was just showing.
No. This is why.
Go on. No, come on. Let's have it out.
This is why I hate
come on. Get it all out on the table.
Anymore.
Yeah, come on.
Get what?
Say what you're going to say. This has been building up all season. I can tell.
I just miss our son.
Where is my son?
Oh, God. Anyway, game 1 is over and done with and in the books. We're going to be moving into game number 2 in just a second. Honestly, I don't know how you stop Infused. You know what I mean? They just... You look at how disciplined they had. The teamwork's there, the communication, and they've got, you know, arguably 2 of the best players in Europe right now. If not 3, 4. You mentioned Quad as like being an upcoming and rising star of European Halo. Kimbo's always been there. We were surprised back when Fabi dropped in for Jimbo. Don't get me wrong, Fabi went on an incredible run. One of the most, if not the most, what's the way? Dominant, yep, excuse me. Dominant force in European Halo we've seen for many, many years. But he's always been there, back with a vengeance, obviously back-to-back with Bran, Snakey, and Quadius. The question is, what can they do when they get to Atlanta? This team has already 110% booked its tickets to DreamHack. That's a disgusting kill. More importantly, the overshield Harry has just been allowed to fall into the hands of Quad.
It's just the micro decisions they make. I mean, Quad, it would have been so tempting for him to pick up the snipe right there, but he picks up that snipe. He plays a little bit more passive with that weapon, even though he has overshield. So what does he do? He hands it off to Kimbo, and Kimbo's he's no random in matchmaker with the snipe, man. He knows how to hit shots himself, and now that's going to free up Quad to push a bit more aggressively with this power-up, and you can see the damage it's doing already, 6-2. Keeping away from the plasma pistol from Mose there as well. It's just the small decisions they make in game, but I gotta go over to this man. He's hit some highlight reel shots in the past. Let's see if he can do it again.
I wish we had listened in at this point, because we just hear it. Oh, look at that. They're all turtled, Harry. 1, 2, 3, 4. The entire team is just boxed into cafe, waiting to die, unfortunately. Where do you go? Look at this. Snaky outside, over on snipe ramp, just pop shotting him. Mose is going to get spawned in hotel. So unfortunately, he's not in the great of players. We've got one person watching from gold. We've now got Kimbo watching from bridge. Every angle's covered.
Every angle is covered, but you could see a couple of those players there actually darted over to the yard. That's actually going to be a very important play for them, because they need some kind of map control. Like you said, they were all trapped in blue, and Kimbo going down there with snipe will give them a little bit of hope if they can find that one. It's going to be Mose to pick that one up, and he's going to rotate round to Tramp. So this is a bit more manageable here from Vex. You might look at the score and say, 12-4, they're out of this game, this game's over already. Mose has a snipe. If he can get 1 or 2 kills right here, which it looks like he potentially could if he knows they're at yard, as soon as he gets that information, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and take more aggressive angles on that. But they also have tram control, which is very important to grab the overkill, but look at the infused flood. That's just disgusting, and now Respectful has a snipe as this overshield's coming up. That's a nightmare situation. Mose goes down to his former longtime teammate, and now they're up by 10. They get 9 as the ground pound comes in, but the overshield's coming up soon as well. So if Infused grabs that one, it's gonna be very tough for Vex to get themselves back in this game.
He's teeing up this no-scope. He wants it, and he will land it as well. Killing spree there for Respectful. Morga with the OS gets destroyed. Absolutely wrecked by the Barrel. Barrel MVP, Harry.
As is every week in the European Pro League. I mean, it seems like we've seen a barrel kill almost every single week. You've got to watch out for those barrels, boys. They're very, very explosive, and they hurt a lot. Top tier analysis.
They hurt a real lot.
Yep.
Even when you've got an OS, they're still a real lot.
Yep.
I like it. Great top tier analysis, Harry.
This game is over, by the way.
It's dangerous. You know, I mean, it's no joke, because these are two very, very good teams, but Infused are just really showing why they're head and shoulders above anybody else right now. Please hit it.
Don't do it.
Oh, feed it.
He has a family. Oh, thank Lord.
If he'd have hit that. I mean, the thing is, though, with these players, they have more than enough abilities to do it, because they're just incredible.
27-11.
While this is going on, Harry, do you think this team's stronger than the old Fabi roster?
Not yet.
No?
Nowhere near.
When you say not yet, does that mean you think it could be?
I want to see them in tournament play. So far, we've only seen them in online league matches against some questionable European rosters. I'm looking forward to seeing this team at DreamHack. Now they're guaranteed there. There's a lot of slaying potential on this team. I mean, we've already said 4 of this team are in the top 5 league-wide kill-death ratios. So I want to see what they can do against some of these American teams, man, particularly the top amateur teams over there at DreamHack, because it's going to be the first time going out to America for the likes of Quad. I mean, you know, his players on his team have been there before, but Quad's a beast online. Can he get it done there over in America? We saw at Wembley, he didn't look like the player he was online when he came to that World Qualifier event, so we'll see at DreamHack, man. I think calling them the new Fabi is definitely a little bit premature. I almost would want to see them match up against Invictus again, because obviously we saw that one end pretty prematurely with some technical difficulties, so we never really got a definitive answer, because Invictus, they were coming back in that series. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, it's a good comparison, because both teams had, well, obviously Fabi was dominant for so long, but Infused definitely have the potential to be as dominant. But the potential, I don't think it's been realized yet. I think they need to get some tournament experience under their belts first.
Plenty of experience amongst the players, as Harry mentioned. We at least, you know, they haven't done it together yet. There's still anything could happen, but DreamHack Atlanta, it's only a few more weeks away, and we will be seeing this team in particular going at it with America's finest. Right now, though, 1-0 currently to Team Infused, 41-17, and yeah, things have slowed right down. Hence, me and Harry are just talking about some other things outside of it, because it's just been GG from that. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that happened.
I mean,
Left, right, good night.
it's 45 to 18 and you're hitting shots like that, and that's when you know the game is over.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's rough watching this.
Feels bad for Vexed.
It does. Infused is just... I mean, fair enough, they're getting a tanking, because still, Vexed is no joke. There's some quality players on there.
We've all been in this situation when we play against those pesky teams of 4 in matchmaking. These kind of games happen when you have teammates that just don't seem to have any hands. And we've been on the receiving end of beatings like those in matchmaking, and they don't feel good. This is going to feel even worse for a Vex team that is 3rd in the league right now, getting thoroughly outclassed in a competitive match for the world to see.
Feels bad, man.
Feels very bad.
I bet Brandon got the most kills, though, because he does love a stat line. Oh, what do you know? Look at the deaths.
He's going for that league-wide KDA #1. I think
He's a big fan.
I think he is still #1 in the league, last time I checked.
Lunny, very unfortunate again saying that. We can't call an individual player out. It was a team effort. Morga 4 and 12, 3 and 13 coming out of Lunny. Neg 10 is rough. 5 and 12 coming out of... When would you ever see Moles with a 5 and 12 ratio? You know?
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing to think that he's not only is he not with Respectful, but certainly not on the top-tier team in Europe, because the guy is an absolute individual talent. He's a beast.
He's a beast, and to his credit, still hitting almost 70% accuracy. So there's that. I mean, and the greatest stats in the world, but that's a stat line to be proud of.
You're taking the, you're looking on the bright side. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, there's not really much. When we can talk about casting, we can just try and break this one down as much as possible. But when it's a bit of a rough series like that, what else can you say, man? 50 to 19, that is an absolute...
It's not over yet.
It isn't. Anything can happen, and we do know that these teams...
No, I mean, it's not over yet.
Oh, okay.
Vex, they have another 2 games of this.
Right.
And they have a punch, what do they call it? A fighting chance. They have a puncher's chance, I think they call it in boxing.
You just met words up.
No, I'm pretty sure that's an actual saying. Oh. I'm not making stuff up this time. But... yeah, there's always a chance, especially on Eden Strongholds, because this is a very snowbally game type. If you can get those rockets, grab the overshield every 2 minutes, this game can be over within 4, maybe 5 minutes. So that's what they have to do. They just have to keep rolling from there. But against this infused squad, man, I mean, Slayers across the whole team, and it's tough to break their momentum when they start rolling, honestly, especially for this Vex team who lost one of their biggest Slayers and have gained a new pickup, which they still need time to gel with. So, yeah, I worry for what we're about to see. Children, close your eyes.
Well, let's have a look. Kicking things off with Respectful. Man of the Hours POV. Several members. Grenades will go down. It's the 2-on-2 battle and the fight for the initial OS. First strike comes in. It's going to be Quad who grabs the OS just like he got it before. Efficient power control time and time again from this young man. Rockets also... well, here we go.
So it begins.
3 dead already for Vexed. Quad's just going to happily sit back here, wait for any oncoming challenges, and just accept everybody. Then the time will start to tick, and honestly, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon.
So a lot of people wonder why people talk about kind of red side advantage on maps, and that start of the game is a very prime example as to why red side on Eden is very much favorable. You could see Respectful off the start was nading, as we see actually Morgan there showing a little bit of body disrespect. Not sure what that was for. We'll have to ask him at a later date why that particular kind of shots were coming in right there, whether he just wanted to give himself a little bit of confidence as a triple cap comes in here for Infused. But going back to the point, oh, no triple cap just yet. That's actually a slither away from being a triple, but that's actually going to rotate into the hands of Vexed if Infused aren't careful. So back to my point though, as I was saying, this start of Eden when your red team is so much easier for you to grab the overshield, because blue team, despite them having the height control at the start of the game, they're not actually going to be able to see you as you're flying towards that overshield, whereas the red team, they can throw those pre-nades. Fair enough, blue team can throw some pre-nades as well, but certainly much trickier to do so when red team spawn just a tad bit closer to that overshield than you do.
23-0. The time will keep on ticking. Infused looking to put this one away in a very quick fashion. Potentially even pushing that triple cap. If they do have somebody, yes, indeed, it's going to be Snake. He gets a cracking beat down and a light rifle kill across the map also. Respectful, waiting for the fresh rockets. Pre-nades. Look at that. grenading the doorway. One person just steps on it, gets the hit markers. Players are going to be charging in, know exactly where he is. Respectful is going to be timing to perfection the fresh OS. There's a couple of seconds coming out of Team Vexed, but honestly, I think that's going to be it, because when you got Rockets and OS and a team full of Slayers, yeah, the two plot doesn't last very long, Harry.
We saw what happened in the last series with XL, some of their questionable power weapon play. Just watch how Respectful uses this weapon and how he doesn't really waste them. I mean, watch him just make me eat my words, but he's just going to wait for guaranteed kills. You see the trigger discipline there. He was watching his radar, but saw his teammate get the kill, so he doesn't need to shoot that one off. Like, he's not going to shoot long-range ones. He's just going to make sure every single kill counts with these rockets. And this is what the majority of players in Europe need to do. That's another kill converted right there. Should be 2 in a row. And in fact, Lunny actually jumps over the rocket right there. So, again, doesn't actually make me eat my words. I sound pretty stupid right now, but he needs to be, you know, players in Europe need to be a lot more patient with their power weapon plays, right? I mean, let's see what Mose does with him. Again, another top player should really be making guaranteed kills happen. And look at the patience right there. Just letting the extra second happen in that wave of play, letting Snaky drop. Not snatching at rockets like players seem to do. And as a result of those slays, look, now it's Vexed back on the board. They're starting to score. So, yeah, just kind of a key couple of plays right there. Respectful losing the rockets, and then Mose making Snaky skydive off the map.
Move across to Lunny's POV, see what he's doing, just hanging around, looking at Catwalk, one player advancing into it, and they make that 2. That'll be Team Infused that are going to turn tails on that one. Grenades will go down, and there's a player fighting for his life inside Nest. He's going to be in a little bit of a sticky situation though. Kimbo opting to grab the light rifle, doesn't realise that Morgan's still creeping around. Please don't do it to him. Thankfully, Respectful there to clean up, but still, Kimbo with some great shots. Teamwork though, look at this. Teamwork makes the dream work. Working as a pair. And this is what I like out of Team Infused. You never seem to be able to just find one of them.
This flank right here is huge from Mose, because if he kills Respectful right here, he's going to grab these rockets and then move towards this overshield. In fact, he's just granted his teammate a spawn and rockets. It's going to be Riots, and now look. Look at this very clever flank, but he's taken down, and now Respectful grabs the overshield. He really should have made that kill happen a little bit sooner. And guess what? Riots, who had those rockets, was taken down as well. So both rockets and overshield, and guess what? Camouflage are in the hands of Infused now as well. You've just fed the beast all these power-ups and power weapons. That's just asking for trouble here on Eden Strongholds.
Please nerf Infused. This is
Infused too OP.
Yeah, this is GG no re by the look of things. I mean, again, anything can happen in Halo, but Vex right now looking for a miracle. Triple cap will come in. Total Effect's going to start to do some serious damage. Snake is allowed to creep. Predator finds his target, finds his prey, hits the grenade, 2 go down, the weaken, and all of a sudden cleanup crew is in effect. Quadius comes in, takes them both down. Total control, Harry, it's back again, and it's back with the vengeance.
Bit of a poor play from Snaky with a camouflage right there, but Infused happy to play retake on Blue Ben, so it's not really that big of a deal, honestly. I mean, by him distracting Morga right there and making him weak, fair enough, he gives up the camouflage by him dying, but his 2 teammates are there at Turbine. He obviously was listening to his teammates and just saying, hey, even if you die here, as long as you make him weak, we're going to be able to retake this stronghold immediately. And look at the points they've gained from the total control here as well. They're still slaying around this triple cap, and Mose has 1 rocket to play with, and he needs to grab this soon, because look at the score. It's 83-33. This game was pretty close just a few seconds ago. I mean, around 40, 50 seconds ago, this game was 50-30, and now look, it was 87-33. So, yeah, just watch out for this scoreline really extending out of the reach of Vex, and that's another poor rocket. It's just a consistent theme here tonight with these poor rockets here, Sims.
I think the one thing about the total control for me is it's how teams panic and then they're not able to retake it because they forget about where they're spawning. They forget about where they forget about teamwork and everything else. Like, oh, hello, goodbye, RKO, see you later, Lunny. Kimbo with the wrestling moves takes him down, but you know, kind of going back to what I mentioned, when teams tend to get the full control, it's like they forget to play Halo because they'll come off the respawn, they won't watch where they're going, they won't work as a team, and the opposing team's ready for it. They know where they're going to be, they can calculate exactly where they're going to be spawning on the map, and they're just all over them. And that's tend to when you see teams really make full advantage, and you know, total control. You've got to push out, you've got to get kills, and you've got to put those plots back in your team's hand, otherwise you're bleeding out 2 ticks a time.
Yeah, I love the patient play there, though, from Snaky. So tempting. In the kill feed, actually, we just see Kimbo with a triple. Oh, see if he can grab himself an overkill. Can't quite happen, though, but when you have an overshield and you're defending a stronghold, so tempting for you to rotate and try and play aggressive with it. I love the patient play from Snaky. He sensed they were going to spawn blue plat, and when you spawn a blue plat, what are you going to do? You're going to fly through blue for that stronghold. Snaky sensed it, used his game sense, and took down Lonnie, and wow, this is rough.
Yeah,
I don't want to go on a Halo Data Hive after this and check out the KDs of the boys on Vexed, because it's going to be no good. It's going to be poor.
We'll take a look at the KDs right now. Riot's 3 and 13.
Yikes.
Not a stat line you want to be seeing from the big man. Max 10 and 12 coming out of Morgu. 11 and 11. Mo's going neutral. 11-15 from Lonnie. Then 9 and 8. Snaky Kimbo. Respectful once again. 16 and 10. Kimbo 13 and 9. 13 and 8 though at the top there.
Wait, what's this? Is that Respectful with the most deaths on his team?
Wow. Someone take a photo.
Yeah, take a screenshot, guys.
Xbox record that.
Xbox screenshot.
Yeah, actually, recorded that, I'd have been quite surprised. I'm also slightly worried that they actually did say it. But 3-0 will be the current series scoreline, Harry.
Yeah.
No.
Don't answer the question.
No, don't even ask it.
No.
Okay, it's
You
over.
won't like the answer.
Go on then. Talk to me about this fourth game. We've seen what's happening and we can see what's kind of going down, but let's talk about it.
Yep.
Map number 4.
Fathom.
How does it look? Do you have any information actually on these two teams on this one? Because we haven't seen it yet in Pro League.
Haven't seen it yet in Pro League, so the only kind of stats we can take into account are the other capture the flag game types in Pro League. Vexed 2 and 2 on capture the flag game types. Obviously, they haven't played the caliber of team like Infused before, and on a map like Fathom, slays go in your favor, and you
so unforgiving.
It's unforgiving, and if you get slays in your favor, you can really run flags from there. The only plus side is that Infused haven't played this game type in Pro League yet. That's pretty much the only upside if you're on the Vex side, because Infused, they have a superior overall flag win rate. They have a 3-win, 1-loss record on capture the flags in the Pro League. Fathom, a map that is so Slayer dependent. I mean, you think back to the old Infused rosters with Kimbo and Snaky on, back when they had Flux on that lineup and Cristola. I remember them taking down Fabi at Wembley on this game type, and fair enough, it wasn't one of Fabi's strongest game types, but these guys definitely know how to play this map, and I'm honestly very excited to see how they take on this Vex squad. I almost wanted to say dismantle, but we have to give Vex, again, a fighter's chance. But, you know, they're still in this series, technically. They could shock the world. They could win this map and then go from there, but they have to win it first, and the way to do that is outslaying Infused, and that's easier said than done.
Yeah, reverse sweep would be the only way to win this series now for Vex. Morgu still with the tank mag looking onwards. Finally moving out of his spawn, just sitting back and being a bit of a nuisance from cross map. Finds himself the railgun also. Trying to catch people coming out the window. Finds Respectful on the doorway. Hits his feet, tags him up and takes him down. Looking to the corner now, see if he can spot any of his teammates. They're going to be spawning in the back. It's going to be Quad. He just catches a glimpse of him. Also notice other players up top mid as well. It's going to be Kimbo, but Kimbo thrusts above his head, finishes him off, and he will find the railgun also. So downstairs in the pit. Can get the reload on that one. Might even be able to take down Riot. It's actually Snaky who finds that one. And look at this, 1, 2, 3 members of Infused all running together. In fact, one goes low, one goes high, and one pushes on. So at the moment, it's Infused just getting that map coverage, Harry.
Yeah, I like the way Kimbo there actually kind of thrusted back. Again, I like the idea from Morga soaking up a little bit of pressure. I think that's kind of what you have to do here on Fathom, but Kimbo, again, sensing that kind of play. These two teams haven't actually played each other previously, I don't believe, in scrims. Could be wrong on that one, but I had a brief look online, but I don't think they've actually played each other. So interesting that Kimbo had that kind of game sense to expect Morga to do that right there. And Kimbo still with his railgun. I love the way he's just playing so patient. We said it's such a slay-dependent map, but Infused, they're not rushing for slays. They're not overextending. They're not giving Vex anything to work with. They're not making any real mistakes. They're making Vex really work for their slays, and the slays do come in. Lunny will take out one and is now actually running a flag already, but you can see Riot's there trying to make something happen. He gets taken down. Lunny gets another one with the flag, but he needs some support right here. Where are his teammates? They're just coming off the respawn, and there is no help to be found for Lunny, and that's a good defensive stance right there for Infused. The silver lining right here is this top-middle fight. Riot knows this camouflage is coming up soon, but again, the slays from Infused, they just come at a perfect time as that camouflage is coming up, and it's going to be Snaky to grab it. Riot actually picks up 2, including Snaky, who just picked up the camouflage. So silver linings here for Vex. They're still in this game, although, you know, we've only been playing for 2 or so minutes, but Yeah, very signs of life here for Vex, definitely. Taking down camouflage players and identifying when and where they need to be fighting. It's not like this is a one-sided beating, honestly. This is more competitive than the maps we've seen so far.
Right, staying alive for quite some time, but now he's outside in no man's land. He does have some support though, and look at this. Here comes the flood. Unfortunately, the big man's getting tanked up in the back. Needs to be careful. Down he will go. Which player that's going to be? It's going to be Kimbo. He's forced to sit back, but unfortunately they got a very nice cheeky spawn straight on the VAT. They were all over that flag. Kimbo respectful, taking down 2. And look at the look at the positioning from Quad. He's actually come up behind them, Harry, and now he's blocking that flag from not only being touched where they're going to be spawning on the opposing side, but also if they just wanted to rush it straight out of the doorway. That's a dead flag. That's returned. Nice plays coming out of Team Infused.
Yeah, return comes in, and all this while, Respectful's been alive with this railgun. He was taken down by Riots in that series of play we saw on screen, but he's found the railgun once again, and he's still putting this to use. 2 kills, though, from Moze. Again, this is actually Vexed. Very surprising to see them grab the first slays after what we've seen so far in this series. And if this flag goes through bottom middle, Snaky right here is the only player that could stop this, and he should really just be grabbing his team a little bit of time. But check this out, the flag's in, and it's going to be 1-0 to Vexed. Here we go. Now, this is more like it, and they have fresh slays to push up from here too. So, Vexed, they're going to have some map control. Morga with another one. This could be a bit of a thorn in the side of Infused right here.
This could be the start of something nice. 1, 2, 3 members, though, unfortunately, of Vex. They will all fall. Riots left last man standing. Does have a railgun though, so we'll see what he can do with this one. Plenty of rounds in the chamber. Finds Kimbo top mid. Tags him up rather hard, but unfortunately we're going to have a player. He's going to be respectful on his back already. Gets the trade-off before he goes down. That railgun's going to be landing on the side of Vex, so they're still able to recuperate, Harry, and make something happen. Yeah,
speaking of recuperating, something that Vex are doing very well that Infused just can't seem to do is when Vexed are getting outslayed and Infused have the map control, Vexed are turtling very, very well. Look at the sneaky play here from Morga. He's actually checked there from Quad, and Quad will actually take out 2 in a row as well.
Wow.
So, yeah, good place from Quad. Mo's had camo rail, but he'll be taken down. We'll swap over to Quad to see what more he can do on this game type. But something that Vex are doing very well, as I said before, just kind of absorbing the pressure when Infused have the map control. So watch for Infused to try and remedy that. And how you do that is just make sure you're pushing as a team, pushing from multiple angles when players are stuck in their own base. When you get that first kill, you need to be attacking from the gen door, the elbow. You need to be hitting them from so many different spots, and this is more like it from Infused. As soon as they get this slay in their base, they need to start pushing out because the map control could be regained here from Vex if they're not too careful.
Looks like Respectful will get the return on that one, at least. Yes, he does indeed. Now he's going to try and turn around on this play. He does have some support coming out of the treehouse. That player, though, still crouching down and staying alive. That's going to be Lunny. Sneaky players coming out of this young man. One player caught off guard. That's going to be Kimbo. Doesn't go off the map. Lands perfectly on the platform. Now he's a danger to this team because as soon as he tries to go through pit, probably should get this kill. That's actually going to be Respectful. He's still alive, though, I believe. No, he has just fallen down, so been a nuisance there. Riots might be able to get... No, doesn't matter. That's going to be Quad. Once again, Quad with the return. How many times has he stepped up to the plate and been the one to bring that flag back home?
A lot, but worrying thing for his team at the moment is that Lunny has this railgun, and he's hit some real nice shots with this weapon in the past. I mean, playing against him in Arena, he seems to hit every single one on me, so doesn't quite connect perfectly with that one, but will still make the kill happen with the power weapon. So that's very important. That's actually 2 in a row. He's going for 3, but Morga will help him out on Respectful. And this is, again, more like it from Vex. They seem to be outslaying from the eye test, at least at the moment. They seem to be passing the eye test in terms of outslaying Infused, and it certainly feels that way at the moment in terms of how they're grabbing the map control after the slays. The worrying thing here for Lunny, he's the last alive, and Infused, they are hunting him down. They know he has this weapon, so it's just damage limitation right here. Stay alive as long as possible and give your spawners a little bit of time to come up and have a bit more breathing room.
I love it how we're just forcing him to use ammo as well and kind of poke the head out a doorway, then go back and at least just try and make him use up as much ammunition in that gun so they didn't kill him. He won't be as much of a threat as he was. One player will fall down. Flag is out in the open. Can they make something of it? Quad just checking his corners. Unfortunately, doesn't check himself enough. He will drop. Morga's going to be allowed to move up now past his body. Might even find the railgun if there are any ammunition left in the chamber. Flag's on the move, though. Once again, Kimbo caught down in pit. He will fall. 2 players chasing across. They've got the map control. Look at this. Nobody is even challenging through garage. That's an easy 2-0.
What are Infused doing right now? I mean, this is just great plays from Vexed, in my opinion. I mean, it's tough to kind of fault Infused at this moment in time because Vexed, they're outplaying them on this game type, honestly, because that run from Lunny, it was a perfect buddy system between Lunny and Riots. We saw on the player outlines, Lunny was running the flag up high while Riots was below him, kind of distracting and making Infused deal with him first. And that basically won his team the capture. So really nice play there out of Riots, as well as Lunny kind of working in tandem. And Infused, they were so concerned with getting that slay on Riots, they kind of forgot about the flag guy. And the flag guy was able to move across the map. And only 4 minutes now left in regulation time for Infused to get 2 more captures. Otherwise, Vexed, they're going to steal a game away.
This is nice. This is different. Certainly not what we expected whatsoever coming out of Vexed. After the beating of the first 3 games, I thought they were all but down and out, but it looks like there's still life in the old dog yet. 2 members of Infused will fall down. Kimbo answering back with the BR, does have top middle control and the railgun as well. Going to pre-grenade 2 for 1. That's actually Brandon, so that's going to be Respectful and Kimbo both nading the same area. They knew where the players were going to be spawning. Called it and timed it perfectly. And now they're going to get the flag on the move, so this could be the first one going home here for Team Infused. If they can get back, they need to get bodies across their side of the map, Harry.
Yeah, it's such a late flag run from Infused. I was kind of wondering where the flag was that whole time, and they'll make it work with their slaying power, but that was very sloppy in my opinion. They get a flag capture, 3 minutes left to get another capture to force overtime in this game. But when those 2 kills come in from Respectful, why isn't that flag being moved already? I mean, I was kind of just wondering what was happening right there from Team Infused, but they made it work, so I can't really complain about it. And now with Kimbo with the railgun, I think he will have top middle control as well, and Snaky has this camouflage to be sneaky and be a real nuisance in front of the enemy base. They could really have a chance of coming back in this game. I mean, Fathom's a really unforgiving map if you get outslayed heavily, so just watch out for that. If Infused get themselves some kills, they need to be a little bit more concise, and they seem to be doing that so far as they have map control once again. Look at the blue outlines pinned in their own base.
I mean, you talk about being unforgiving, Harry. You still need to have one player, at least one player that doesn't mind doing the dirty work, doesn't mind taking some deaths and just sticking yourself inside that base, because really, I mean, fair enough, we've got 4 incredible Slayers on this Infused roster, but you kind of mentioned there's a bit of hesitation to who can go and actually grab that flag and be the one to take the death, pull it out, get it on the move. Maybe that could be the issue. You've just got too many hyper-aggressive players who don't want to die.
Could be an issue, but I mean, at the same time, it's almost like it seems like a fundamental flaw in their gameplay. I mean, I don't think anyone's particularly focused on the slays. I mean, we did see that in the second capture from Vex as Lunny and Max were kind of working together. Lunny and Riots, that is. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's a problem for them when they're trying to fashion flag runs, or whether it's just a problem for them when they are trying to stop flag runs, if that makes sense. So, I'm not too sure, man. I honestly think this team kind of knows how to play this game type, but look at Riots. His team are 2-1 up against the top of the league team at the moment, and he's still going for flag runs with 1 minute and 15 left on the clock. This is really what you should be doing. It's a positive move there from Riots, but needs to be careful a player doesn't sneak behind his team and try and get a capture thanks to the free slay he practically just put on a plate there for Team Infused.
One player still remaining inside that base. They do need to take him out and get him out of there. While all this is happening, there is no one to actually be in a position to make something happen and get a pull. 50 seconds will begin to count down. In fact, one player doesn't go down. He does now. Took a second set of bullets to find it. Respectful spins around on a pinhead, doesn't find the target, finds one downstairs instead. Morgu, unfortunately, will catch him with his pants down, trying to get out of the way, but unfortunately, it will not happen. And now it's time to let the clock tick down. 30 seconds, and Vex, they will begin their mammoth journey to try and pull the reverse sweep on Team Infused. It's not going to be an easy one, but if they can get one on the board, they at least know if you can make God bleed, the people will believe.
This is it. This is it right here. This push from Snaky, if he gets this kill, he needs to look at Jen, and he's doing that too, but it looks like Kimbo will actually come in, and now they can. This is a real possibility, honestly. 10 seconds left. If the flag guy goes down, it's game, though. 7 seconds, that's not going to be enough, I don't think, even if Kimbo doesn't. Even if he does pick up that flag again, I think that's probably game. And there we go. Vex, they'll steal a game off of Team Infused.
Wow. Dreams alive.
Do you believe?
I believe in miracles, but this feels more than a miracle. This feels like, I don't know, God himself needs to be on their side, because Team Infused is no joke. We've seen what's happened to them in the first 3 rounds. Fathom can be a little bit hectic. We do know that. And maybe that's just where they got the advantage on them. The Slayers are pretty even.
Dude, forget the slays. Look at the assists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy.
What's his damage dealt? Okay. Alright, I see you, Riots.
Still life in the big dog.
25 assists. That's pretty good. Not bad, I guess.
It's not bad.
24 kills.
That's pretty
most in the game from Morga. 23 just behind him with Respectful, but...
One good game, though, Harry, doesn't win you a series.
That
We saw before, like, Warlord had the game of his life with an overkill on Fathom. Funnily enough, the same map that they actually lost.
Very lackluster from Infused.
See what happens. It all depends on this next game because Infused, they're a good team, and I just don't know how you managed to. Fair enough.
They were so slow. I'm sorry to cut you off, but they were really slow on that game side. They hesitated when they got the slays. It wasn't the Infused that we've seen on Truth Caps of the flag. As soon as they grab those slays, they're running that flag. Or Plaza Slayer, as soon as they grab the overshield, quad's flying at people. On Eden Strongholds, they get the rocket overshield, they're flying at people. On Fathom, it was like, oh, we have railgun, we have top middle.
Right.
Stay here for a little while. I mean, we saw Respectful at top middle, just kind of sat there, just looking for people. Like, come on, man, if you can't see anyone up there, you got to move, you got to go to them and put that power weapon into use. So, yeah, a little bit sluggish there, in my opinion, from Infused on that map. Take nothing away from Vexed, though. They exploited the weaknesses from Infused on Fathom right there and really kind of put the dagger in the back of Infused. They snuck around behind Infused, pulled flags early, and that's what Infused really should have done to Vex, but they weren't doing that. They were too obsessed with top middle control, and as a result, it cost them the game.
Well, unfortunately, they now have to move on to a team Slayer. It's going to be Slayer on Coliseum. First team to bag 50 kills will be the victor, or the first team to have the highest amount of kills when the time runs down will also play out as the winner. Infused, hyper-aggressive team, 4 massive Slayers in European Halo. Tell you what, Vexed, Harry, they've got a big job ahead of them because this is going to be no easy feat.
Yep, no easy feat. Going up against the 4 best Slayers in Europe on a game type, all about slaying with 2 power weapons that both these teams know how to use. So definitely a big job ahead of them, but Morga starting the game off with 2. Only grabbing the Riots and Morga with the snipe as well here for Vexed is the dream start. They're up 3-0. They have both power weapons.
We'll let this one kind of do the talking for itself then. Everyone's kind of chilling for a second. We've got Morga with the sniper rifle. He's going to kind of come back to his teammates who do need some support. Riots inside the enemy base right now. Rockets are in play. You can see that as one does go down. That's going to be Lunny with them on his back. DMR in the hands of Moz also. So all the power weapons certainly in the hands of Vex, Harry. Just magnums across the board for Team Infused, unfortunately.
Yeah, Infused at the moment, they need to take the power weapons out of the hands of Morga and Lunny. They've taken them out of Morga's hands, but Lunny still has his rocket launcher, and if they're not careful, yep, there you go. Perfect execution will take down Kimbo, and that will maintain the 4-point lead here for Vex. Now it's the job of finding Snakey, who stole the sniper away from them, and taking him out. And boop, there he is. There we go, just like that. That's more power weapon control into the hands of Lunny and Vex. Now he has both of those to play with.
Vexed doing well then. Still, it's early days and there's only 2 kills in it whatsoever, so anything can change, but a nice start, a nice way to get your feet on the ground, so to speak. Lunny sniper rifle and rockets in hand. One player's going to be creeping up behind him. Unfortunately, looks away at the wrong time. 2 of them do pincer him in. Double kill comes out of Snakey. Weapons now will transition into the hands of Team Infused. This is their time, Harry. This is where you stamp your name on the series and end this here and now. They don't want to be moving out to game 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, there isn't a game 8, so they won't be doing that one anyway. Looking straight across into the enemy base. He catches one player looking for people spawning on the elbow side. Riots is running across. Oh, I like the turn off, Harry. I like it. He didn't because he missed.
It's not often people like me turning them off, but I mean, Kimbo still with the sniper. Snakey actually had the rockets. Those are out of ammo, and I believe Respectful. Now, don't look at me like that.
You laughed at your own joke.
I didn't laugh.
You did.
I was laughing at the fact that Snakey picks up 2 kills with the rockets in the kill feed, and the fact that Vexed had a big lead in this game, but is now in the favour of Infused, thanks to the power weapon control of Respectful. That's what I was laughing at. Not my own joke. Come on.
Good recovery, fam. Oh, ground pound time.
Did the ground pound just shoot the rocket up into the air?
There is a potential. He may have actually clipped it and moved it away because it certainly went flying past him. One Bullet, one shot, will come out for Kimbo, tags up a second one. He'll opt to keep his life, though I like the player. Why bother challenging? One player coming down, though. Bullet come whizzing past his face. Lonnie knows exactly where he is. They're looking to call for some help here. He does have the support inside the maze with him. He's also got one behind him, so 3 players here. But look at this, Kimbo. Eyes on the prize, watching Lunny, because if Lunny can get behind them, he can be a real nuisance.
Yeah, one thing I want to praise both these teams for is their power weapon trigger discipline. We've seen 2 rockets at one time in this game and 2 snipers as well. Not sure if those snipers are actually going to stack. We'll keep an eye on the ammo, but it was Quad who had the other sniper, but he went down. So just keep an eye on that. I think Mo's here is searching for the ammo, but can't seem to find it anywhere. Just keep an eye on the spectator player cards, because there was a second sniper in play. Only Quad will know where that is, though.
Mo's certainly trying to find a target, but I tell you what, he's getting lit up. 2 players drill him from across the map. He will fall. Sniper rifle falls onto the floor as well, alongside his body. Beat down 1, beat down 2. Kimbo out 5 in the kill feed onto Morgu. Snaky finishes one off, 25-19, and now Team Infused has woken up, Harry. Now it's time to settle the score and finish off this series.
Yeah, Snaky has a sniper, Respectful, as we saw, just picked up the new rockets as well, so those should be a heap of kills going in favor of Infused, especially with Quad with that upgraded weaponry as well. He has the battle rifle in his possession. 2-for-1 rocket opportunity, but as I called it, Quad with that upgraded weapon will finish off the player. And in fact, every single member of Infused right now has an upgraded weapon of some form or another, and Respectful still has these rockets. Bit of a 50-50 rocket right there, and he's not happy with it either. He's like, oh, Wonder Boy's going to be ripping into me on the cast for missing that one, but it's okay, man. You're the best in Europe. You can do you do
what you want.
You do you. I'm not going to judge you. You're better than me. The rest of these scrubs, though, I mean, jeez. But
wow.
Yeah, there we go. He'll take down Morgan. And look at this. This is the Tale of Colosseum Slayer. Probably one of the most snowbally game types Europe's ever seen. Infused, they were down in this game thanks to a set of rockets and a sniper or 2 and upgraded weaponry. They're now up by 14.
Yeah, it can be quite hard to get out of the mess, so to speak. When you get down, you lose those power weapons. But I suppose that's the story of Halo, right? You need to be able to work together as a team and find a solution to counteracting those power weapons and power-ups. They play a pivotal game in the history of this game, in the series, and being able to work as a team on kind of like what we saw with Supremacy at the start with Warlord, with the OS. 2 of you work together, pincer him in a corner, and just, well, they beat the hell out of him, to be honest with you. There's always an answer, but it's just how you deal with these situations as a team, and kind of what I was speaking to before, Harry, with the triple cap situation. Too many teams panic. When the going gets tough, the tough really does get going, and some of these teams, they just get down on themselves. The communication stops, and everything, including knowing how to play Halo, just seems to go flying out the window with the composure.
Yeah, the composure is definitely hard to keep when you're playing against a team of Slayers like Infused. I mean, Snaky will escape with the rockets right here, and it's very important for Vexed's life in this series to get them out of his possession. Mose does have a sniper, so his first objective, first and foremost, find Snaky, but Respectful will take down his old teammate, and that's the sniper out of play. In fact, no, it's back into the hands of Riot, so it's actually going to be Riot's job to try and find Snaky right there, but 27, make it 28-43. This is going to be a tough mountain to climb here for Vexed if they want to stay alive in this series.
Yeah, we'll just let we'll just count down the kills here. 5 more. Riot's could be a savior, but my god, he does have some serious work to do if he wants to try and stay in this one. 4 more. Running around and getting chased down hard. They'll finish off that kill. Sniper rifle try. Oh no! Morga.
Oh, trust your instincts there, Kimbo. You could have had a montage clip.
That would have been sick.
With Sims commentating over it and everything. Like, that's the dream. That's montage gold right there, dude. Trust your instincts.
Montage
Look
gold.
at Blue Window.
Oh, he wanted it. 360 no scope. And there you have it. Snaky comes in 31-50. Slayer on Colosseum will fall in the hands once again of Team Infused, your #1 team in Europe. They are going to Atlanta. I don't believe they can be taken from the #1 spot now. Correct?
Good question.
All depends on this next match, because obviously we have Divine Domination versus
Invictus, but Infused, they are now 4-0, whereas, yeah, I think, yeah, they would win the head-to-head against Invictus even if they were tied 4-1. So, yeah, they are confirmed Pro League regular season champions.
Which means they will take a higher seed, I believe, in the champ bracket, obviously compared to the other 4 European teams. Excuse me, 3 European teams. Team Infused will clean out the series. Congratulations to them. 4-1, respectful 17-9, 15-6 coming out of Snaky, 10-9 from Kimbo, and then 8-7, but 11 assists from Quad, 4-10 from Riots. Another bit of a weak game coming out from the big man. 7-14 from Moz, 8-14 from Morgu, and Lunny 12-12. Even Stevens at the top.
Do you remember the stat I brought up last week where Moz and Morgu were both in the top 5 for deaths per game?
Yeah.
Pretty sure they're still in the top 5. And
really?
Check it out, the most deaths on their team again. Just interesting kind of tidbit
aggressive
of
players, though.
Information. Yeah, definitely aggressive players, and we said it in the past. They're willing to put their body on the line for the cause. So, not surprising to see them up there again with the deaths, but yeah, maybe reel those in a little bit and you might have a bit more of a chance of taking Infused.
Well, that's it now. All eyes on the prize for Team Infused. They were going anywhere last week, but now they're definitely going as your #1 seed from Europe to Atlanta DreamHack. And you kind of mentioned, Harry, this is the real test for them, right? They're going to the finals, and there's going to be a lot of talent there. There's going to be 8 North American Pro League teams in that champ bracket after all said and done. It's rough, man. That is a killer bracket.
It's a killer bracket, but I've been very impressed with what I've seen out of Infused so far this season. Obviously, still have my questions about them, but even when they give up turbine control and allow players like Moz there to live, they still somehow come out on top. Despite them not having the rockets in that situation, they still grab the overshield. But also the play before that where Respectful was waiting for the rockets, he spawned his teammates there as well. So even if he dies right there, he's still spawning teammates around the power weapon that's coming up, as well as giving them that favorable spawn in terms of height advantage for the overshield. So it's small, minute plays like that that very much impressed me out of Team Infused. And I look forward to see what they can do, because they're going to do some damage over there in DreamHack, definitely. It's them and Invictus that I'm pretty much putting all my European hopes on in terms of taking down those top tier Pro League teams in America.
Bro, believe in the French dream, the French land gods.
Have they qualified yet?
Is it all? I thought it was after this next game, isn't it?
Something like that.
Pretty much after this next game, I'm 99% sure solidifies the top 4. There are so many scenarios.
When they're qualified, I'll put my faith in them. But until then, we only know that 2 of the teams are going there, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't want to sit on the fence until then. No one knows I love him. I've got nothing but love for my boy Norwin Leguludek.
Poor guy under he loves saying his name,
yeah, because I can.
How is it?
Norwin Leguludek.
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 Yeah.